January 30th, 1962. Kashasha, Tanganyika. Now it's called Tanzania. Three girls at a mission boarding school start giggling during class. They can't stop. Not for an hour, not for a day. They laugh until they cry. They laugh until they can't breathe. They laugh until they collapse. Within weeks, 95 of the 159 students are laughing uncontrollably. The school has to close. The laughing spreads to other villages, to other schools. For 18 months, thousands of people can't stop laughing. This wasn't funny. People thought they were dying, and nobody could figure out why it was happening. This actually happened. An entire region lost the ability to stop laughing for a year and a half. You're listening to Wait, That Actually Happened, where we prove history is stranger than fiction. I'm your host, author Daniel P. Douglas, and today we're talking about the time laughter literally became contagious, like medically contagious. Seriously, imagine not being able to stop laughing for 2 weeks straight. Now imagine your whole town has the same problem. Okay, so let's set the scene. Tanganyika in 1962 was brand new, like literally brand new. They'd just gotten independence from Britain 1 month earlier, December 9th, 1961. After decades of being controlled by Germany, then Britain, they were finally their own country. Everyone was excited, but also terrified. What happens now? Who's in charge? Will we be okay? The area around Lake Victoria, where this all started, was especially tense. People were poor, really poor. Most families were farmers or fishermen barely getting by. Kids who went to school were lucky. Most couldn't afford it. Kashasha Village School was a mission school. That means Christian missionaries ran it. It was a boarding school for girls, which was rare. These weren't rich kids. Their families scraped together money, hoping education would give their daughters a better life. The school was strict, really strict. The girls woke up at 5 a.m. for prayers, then chores, off to classes, more prayers, then more chores, lights out at 8 p.m. No talking after dark, no laughing during prayers, definitely no boys. These girls were 12 to 18 years old. They were away from home, some for the first time. They were stressed about exams, stressed about independence, stressed about their futures. The teachers, mostly British missionaries, were stressed about keeping order in a country that just kicked Britain out. Everyone was holding it together. Barely. Then on January 30th, 1962, three girls started giggling in class. Nobody remembers what was funny. Maybe nothing was funny, but they couldn't stop. So these three girls start laughing. The teacher tells them to stop. They try, they can't. The teacher gets angry, sends them outside. They're still laughing. Other girls see them through the window, laughing and crying and holding their stomachs. Some of those girls start laughing too. By the end of the day, 12 girls are laughing uncontrollably. The teachers think they're faking, acting out, being rebellious. They threaten punishment, detention, extra chores. The girls keep laughing. Here's the thing about this laughing. It wasn't fun laughing. It wasn't joy. The girls were terrified. They'd laugh for hours, then cry, then laugh again. They couldn't eat because they were laughing. They couldn't sleep. Some laughed for 2 weeks straight with only tiny breaks. They had other symptoms too: pain, rashes, fainting. Some girls would scream randomly. Others would run around hitting people. A few just kept saying they felt like something was chasing them. By February 15th, 95 of the 159 students were affected. The school was chaos. Girls laughing in the dorms, in the classrooms, during meals, during prayers. The missionaries had no idea what to do. On March 18th, they closed the school, sent all the girls home, figured that would end it. It didn't. The girls went back to their villages, and the laughing went with them. In the village of Nishamba, 217 people got it. Not just kids, adults, elderly people, mostly women and girls, but some boys and men too. Nishamba had to close all its schools. The laughing spread to Ramashanyi village. More schools closed. then to Kanyangaraika. By June, it reached Uganda. Entire villages would have dozens of people laughing at once. Markets shut down because vendors couldn't stop laughing long enough to sell things. A judge had to stop a trial because witnesses kept bursting into laughter. Not funny laughter, painful, scary, unstoppable laughter. Some people laughed for a few hours, others for days. The record was supposedly 16 days straight with only short breaks to drink water. People would collapse from exhaustion, wake up, and start laughing again. Doctors came from the capital. They tested for everything: viruses, bacteria, parasites, food poisoning, water contamination. Nothing. The laughers were physically healthy except for being exhausted from, laughing for days. They tried treatments, sedatives didn't work. The patients would seem calm, then start laughing again. Isolation didn't work. People alone in rooms would still laugh. Traditional healers tried herbs and rituals. Nothing worked. The epidemic kept spreading. Schools kept closing. By the time Kashasha School tried to reopen in May, the laughing started again. They closed after 1 month, tried again in September. More laughing. They gave up until the next year. The pattern was always the same. It started in schools or tight communities. It spread person to person, but not like a normal disease. You didn't catch it from being near someone. You caught it from seeing them, hearing them, thinking about them. The epidemic lasted 18 months. Yes, 18 months. It affected 14 schools and over 1,000 people directly, with thousands more disrupted by closures and fear. Then, just like it started, it stopped. By mid 1963, people stopped getting new cases. The last laughers recovered, schools reopened, life went back to normal, sort of. The official diagnosis? Mass sociogenic illness. Basically, mass hysteria. But that doesn't mean it was fake. These people really couldn't stop laughing. It was as real as any physical disease, just caused by stress and social pressure instead of germs. Scientists think it was triggered by the insane stress everyone was under: new country, strict schools, poverty, uncertainty. The laughter was like a pressure valve exploding. Once one person started, seeing them triggered the same response in others who were equally stressed. But here's what's really interesting: it mostly affected young people and women, the people with the least power, the ones who couldn't speak up about their stress. Their bodies found another way to express it. The Tanganyika government didn't want people talking about it. A new country having a laughing epidemic? Not a great look for international respect. They downplayed it, said it was just school children being dramatic. The girls from Kashasha School? Many never returned. Their families thought they were cursed or crazy. Some villages shunned people who'd been affected. Their reputation followed them for years. Western scientists showed up later wanting to study it. They wrote papers calling it fascinating and unique. They didn't talk much about the real people who suffered through it. But hey, you think this was just a weird African thing from the 1960s? Think again. 2011, Leroy, New York. Teenage girls start having uncontrollable tics and verbal outbursts, spreads to 18 students. The cause? Mass sociogenic illness. 2019, Malaysia. Students at multiple schools start screaming and fainting. Hundreds affected. The cause? Mass sociogenic illness. TikTok, 2020 to now. Teenagers worldwide suddenly developing tics after watching TikTok videos of people with Tourette's. It's so common it has a name: TikTok tics. Same mechanism as the laughing epidemic, just with smartphones. We call it going viral for a reason. Behaviors, emotions, and symptoms can spread person to person just like viruses. The only difference between us and 1962 Tanganyika is that our hysteria spreads globally in hours instead of taking months to reach the next village. At least the Tanganyika students had to actually see each other. We can catch mass hysteria from strangers on our phones while sitting alone in our bedrooms. Imagine if the Tanganyika laughter epidemic happened in 2025. First TikTok, day 3, and I still can't stop laughing. This isn't funny anymore, help, goes viral immediately. Hashtag laughter challenge trends. People fake it for views, but some actually can't stop. Is the laughter challenge real or fake? YouTube videos get millions of views. Schools start reporting cases. Breaking. Students in 5 states can't stop laughing. CDC investigating. Fox News. Liberal schools creating laughing crisis. CNN. Experts warn laughing epidemic could spread nationwide. Someone starts selling laughter epidemic survivor merch. Goop releases an anti-laughter crystal kit for $499. Parents sue TikTok. TikTok bans laughter videos. People switch to Instagram. Instagram bans laughter videos. People switch to Be Real. The cycle continues. A year later, Netflix releases a documentary, The Laughter and American Hysteria. Everyone who didn't get it pretends they always knew it was mass hysteria. Everyone who did get it insists it was real, which, to be fair, it was. So that's the Tanganyika laughter epidemic, when stress got so bad that thousands of people literally couldn't stop laughing for 18 months. It wasn't funny. It wasn't fake. It was stress finding the weirdest possible way to escape. Next week, we're heading to medieval France for the Bal des Ardents, when the King of France and his nobles dressed up as wild men covered in pitch and hair for a party. Then someone brought a torch too close. You can probably guess how that ended. Be sure to check out my Substack Intelligence Bulletin from author Daniel P. Douglas for more podcast series, written articles, and links to my books. Until next time, remember, truth is stranger than fiction, and history is weirder than you think. Thanks everyone for listening. Have a memorable day.